Now, let's understand what the whole case is really about. Donald Trump was facing a criminal hush money trial in New York. This is the same case in which the allegation was that just before the 2016 election, a porn star was paid to stay silent, and those payments were falsely recorded in legal/business records. During this trial, the court feared that if Trump continued making public statements, the fairness of the trial could be compromised. That's why the court issued a strict gag order. The meaning of the gag order was clear. Trump would not make public statements about witnesses, would not comment on jury members, would not attack court staff or the prosecution team. The reason was simple: to keep the trial free from political pressure and fear. But despite this, Trump posted on social media. He gave statements in interviews, and he raised questions about people who were either witnesses or connected to the jury. The court did not see these actions as mere rhetoric. The court clearly stated, this is contempt of court. That is, backhand index pointing right disobedience of the court's order. Now we come to that moment when the case ceased to be merely legal. It turned into a direct confrontation. The court had already imposed fines on Donald Trump multiple times. Each time, a warning was issued. Each time it was said, comply with the court's order. But the violations did not stop. And then, in the live courtroom, the judge's tone changed. Judge Juan Merchan said in clear words, the fines are no longer having an effect. If the violations of the order continue, the court will have no option left except to impose jail time. This was not a statement made in anger. This was not a political remark. This was the law's final warning. For a moment, silence fell in the courtroom, because for the first time in history, a former American president was being openly warned of jail. In open court, the judge also made it clear that he did not want to send him to jail. But he also said, if the court's orders are taken lightly, then the court, too, will exercise its authority. Now hold on a bit, and don't view this event just from Trump's perspective. The real center of this story is not Donald Trump. The real question is the law in America truly equal for everyone? Because if the same thing was done by an ordinary citizen, if someone made statements about witnesses, if someone tried to intimidate the jury, then the court would have already taken him into custody. But here the case is different. Here the accused is a former president, a person who still holds political power. And that's why this case is so sensitive. In Rachel Maddow's style, to say, this court is not in a hurry to punish Trump. This court wants to prove that the weight of the law is heavier than names. The judge is repeatedly trying to show that the court is impartial, patient, but not weak. And that's why, beyond fines, now jail has been mentioned. This is not a warning. This is a boundary line. A line, after crossing which, name, position, and politics will be of no use. And perhaps that's why this moment will be recorded in history, because it will decide, is power under the law, or the law under power? After the judge's warning, a kind of earthquake erupted in American politics. Trump supporters immediately took to the front lines. Their claim is, this is no court. This is a political weapon. Republican leaders accused that Trump is being deliberately targeted before the election. Their assertion is, this is an attack on free speech. This is not justice. It's political revenge. But on the other side, completely opposite voices rose. From the Democratic camp, their stance is, if an ordinary citizen broke the court's order, would they get so much leeway? Democratic leaders and legal experts argue the court has treated Trump with extraordinary patience, multiple warnings, multiple fines, and still, Trump was given full opportunity. From here, this case was no longer limited to just the courtroom.
It now
Connected to the 2024 elections, democracy, and the future of the law. On one side, the slogan of political persecution. On the other side, the demand for law equal for all. And standing between the two, the American justice system, which now is not just judging one person, but the entire system. Now, the biggest question: can Donald Trump actually go to jail? The legal answer is yes, it was possible, but it must be understood correctly. This matter was not about the sentence for the conviction itself. It was about contempt of court, that is, defiance of the court's order. If Trump had again violated the gag order, if he had made public statements about witnesses or the jury again, then the judge had the legal authority to impose a short-term jail sentence or hold Trump in court custody. Such a sentence could have been for days or even weeks. It depended entirely on the judge's discretion. The judge had already made it clear that he did not want to send him to jail, but he had also said, if the court's orders are made a mockery of, then the court too will exercise its rights. And that's what made this case one of the most sensitive in history, because if it had happened, it would have been the first time that a former American president was jailed for contempt of court, and in that moment, the law would have been written not just in books, but in reality. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because this story is not over yet.